Today, I wanted to record a reflective monologue, a reflective video on life, and to say to you, this is a video that is aimed at those people who watch and comment and email me, who feel very much on their own, alone in a world in which everything seems set against you. And I want to say to you, as I smoke my favourite pipe, or one of my favourite pipes, you're not alone. You're not alone. There are many of you like me and like you who are worried about the course of events, worried about where things are going. But be it known that there are many people out there who are fighting our corner, that people are becoming aware of the great harms that have happened, and that groups and societies are meeting. I was at a talk the other day. I was giving a talk, and somebody said, where are all these groups? Where are these societies? I feel on my own. And a number of the audience there said, well, there's groups on Telegram, on WhatsApp, there are various stand in the parks, there are all sorts of groups. And yet, of course, there are people who have yet to identify that. And I think one of the things is that we often forget, those of us who've been thinking along these lines for a long time and gone down the rabbit holes and worked out the anti-human policies that the government are giving us, we often forget that there are new people coming all the time who are waking up and beginning to realize that things are not quite what they thought. And these people don't always know where to go to see and seek help from others. And so it is necessary for people like myself and many others to remind people of these groups and societies and these places. I mean, one of the places, a good start is, of course, the light paper, which does tend to give you the news of what's going on. And I think in the back, in the classifieds, shows you many of the groups where you can get connected to other people. The White Rose is another such place with their Freedom magazine. And more of these are coming together. If you are one of these people who are new and you've stumbled across videos like me and you're trying to fathom it all out, and you're thinking, yeah, all these people seem to know so much, they seem to be on board with it, but I'm new to it and I want to learn, and I'm overwhelmed. And it can be very overwhelming looking at the alternative media of all the different things that are going on and not knowing where to start. It is important for people like me to say and reiterate some of the things that have been going on and to repeat them, so that we can bring more people over to our side of thinking, an awakened side of thinking, in which people can be open in their thoughts, critical in their mind of the events that have happened in recent times, and look at them with a new and bright and positive perspective, which is what we're all trying to do. It's very difficult to smoke a pipe and talk at the same time. Regular viewers will know that although I don't often smoke in the videos, I have taken to the pipe in recent months as a form of meditative thing. It forces me to sit and think. If I sit with my pipe, I can think about things in a way that perhaps in the ordinary rush of life you don't ordinarily. And I find it very comforting. And one of the things that we do need to do is to slow down and think about things, not just take things at face value, not just accept everything that the official bodies give us. We've done that all our lives. We've been told and cajoled and forced. We've been expected to jump when they say jump. But now I think there is this sense, that a growing sense among new people, that our sovereignty is ours. It's not theirs to muck about with, that the power flows from us, from within us, in fact, but from a grassroots base upwards, and that we are defending those rights. Never before, I think, in recent history has so many people begun to realize that not only is the ways that have been told to us are not correct and not right and not for our benefit, but in many ways these people do not have our best interest at heart. The councillors, the government, the MPs, that they're all singing from a hymn sheet. We've seen, for example, that many of them seem to be connected to a fraud. They don't put their name, their wet signature, on the documents they send you, such as in the council tax or in the fines that you get. Nobody is prepared to take the liability. They want to take your money. They want you to cough up for their organisation, but they won't put their signature to it. You'll get some position or some name or just the name of the company. They hide behind a corporation and they're not prepared to put their name and say, it's me that's taking you to court. It's this dead entity. And yet how can a dead entity, a corporation, which is really just an idea on paper, take anybody to court? It doesn't have arms and legs. It can't stand up. It is just intrinsically a concept. It is no more than that. And we've seen that these people are now being called out. Many people are putting up many questions to them and saying, hold on a second, I'm not going to go down the avenues where you expected me just to pay willy-nilly or to jump because you have a policy. I'm not part of your jurisdiction. So I'm really, this message, although a bit garbled and a bit strange, is really to say to those new people who are watching for the first time or for a couple of times, who stumbled across my videos and feeling on your own isolated, this is what they want. They want you to feel isolated. They want you, when these pieces of paper arrive, to pay these bills. There is no rhyme or reason for these anti-human policies. The government seems to be against you. It doesn't seem to be in favour. Here we are in the 21st century. I say this many times, and yet they seem to be trying to persecute rather than give you positive energy, to help, to get you to a higher echelon of life, to make your life more abundant, to look after you. We have given to these organisations, these governments, these businesses registered on Dun and Bradstreet, too much of our personal attention. We've given away our responsibility. It is now time for us to take that responsibility back. I'm personally not entering into the general election. Some people say, "Oh, but Richard, that's a psyop. You know, by not voting, you're not part of it." Well, personally, and I've said this many times, I don't want that system. That system is old. But if you do want to vote and you do want to take part, then I would urge you to vote for the independents, the independent parties, because the independent people are free. They're free to think for themselves. They're not being whipped by any party line. They are very much people of the people, that people who are not slick and polished and have all the elite qualifications. They don't use word salads. They talk in general terms. They live amongst us. The independents who are putting themselves up for the election, I would definitely say vote for them if you want to take part in that jurisdiction, in that game, and give them the best shot that you have. Or withdraw altogether. I would definitely urge people not to go for those existing parties who, for as long as I have been on this planet, have never managed to make things work better. Always have got worse and worse, and have pushed forward agendas that I've never voted for, have pushed for wars, and have made people far worse off than ever before. They've maimed and killed innocent men, women and children. They've left our armed forces on the streets. They've not housed the homeless. They've not really protected our borders. They've not looked after the people in this country first. They seem to be looking after everybody else in the world first than themselves. And to me, charity does begin at home. For if you do not protect yourself and your family, how can you protect others? You need to be able to protect your own first, because that proves that you're able to stand up on your own 2 feet. And if you can protect your own family, your borders, your home, and the people that you care for, then people will take you seriously. So if you're new to this channel and you're watching and you're thinking, what is this burbling idiot sitting in a darkened kitchen smoking a pipe? What's he on about? But if any of that resonates, I just want to say that you are not alone in your thoughts. You are not on your own. There are many of us who are fighting your corner as well as our own corners. And we will get there. We will get there. There is a real turnaround at this moment in time. This is a historic moment. And whatever it is that you are interested in and fighting for and wish to protect, we will manage to achieve that. I'm absolutely certain. The dark forces have had their day, and it's time for us, the ordinary people, on all the different types of people that we are in, at different levels, the stratas of society, wherever we are, this is our time, and we're going to take it back. We are going to control it, and we're going to own it. And those so-called elites, those so-called people who think they have all the power, they are finding the power is disappearing, and they're panicking. They're panicking, which is why we're getting all this nonsense being forced upon us, the potential of a world war, all the smart metering and technology, the 5G and the surveillance, the digital IDs, the central bank digital currencies, the net zero policies, all of this rubbish, the chemtrails in the sky, the fluoridization of the water, stuff that none of us have ever asked for. They're pushing it on us because they are losing control. And if you're on your own and you're worried and you feel isolated, don't be. We are winning, and we will continue to win. I shall now leave you and smoke my pipe in peace and solitude, and wish you a happy weekend.